The diary in the library. The rain had been tapping against the windows of Willow Creek High all afternoon, the kind of steady, metallic rhythm that makes the hallways feel emptier than they really are. Most students had rushed home as soon as the final bell rang, but one lingered. His name was Ethan Clarke, 16 years old, quiet, curious, the kind of kid who preferred the company of dusty books over crowded lunch tables. The library was his refuge, and that afternoon it was nearly silent, save for the hum of the fluorescent lights and the occasional creak of wood as the old building settled. He drifted between the shelves, running a finger lazily along the spines until something unusual caught his eye. Wedged between a stack of outdated science journals and an old encyclopedia was a book he'd never seen before. It was small, leather-bound, its cover cracked and dark as though it had been scorched by fire. Across the front, in faded gold letters, was a single word: diary. Ethan frowned, glancing toward the librarian's desk. Empty. He pulled the book free, and a thin cloud of dust burst into the air. The moment he touched it, the hum of the light seemed to dip, as though the library itself had exhausted. "Probably just some old notebook," he muttered, sliding into a chair by the window. When he opened the diary, the first page was blank, but as he flipped through, his stomach tightened. Every page seemed to be written in a hurried, uneven hand, like the words had been scratched into the paper in panic. The first entry read, "The rain hasn't stopped. It beats against the windows, louder and louder, as though it wants to get inside." Ethan froze. He glanced up. Outside, the storm had grown harsher, the rain slamming against the library windows with a force it hadn't had a moment ago. He shook his head. Coincidence, nothing more. He flipped to the next page. "I hear footsteps in the stacks. Someone is here with me. Someone who shouldn't be." Ethan swallowed, his ears straining. The library was empty, or it should have been, yet faintly he heard it, the shuffle of shoes against the carpet. "Hello?" His voice cracked slightly. "Miss Harper? Is that you?" No answer. Just silence. His pulse quickened, but curiosity pushed harder than fear. He turned another page. "I think it's getting closer. I shouldn't have opened the book. I shouldn't have read this." Ethan snapped the diary shut, his hands trembling. He laughed nervously, shaking his head. "Okay, this is stupid. I'm scaring myself." But the sound came again, clearer now, the slow, deliberate sound of someone moving in the next aisle of books. Ethan's chair scraped against the floor as he stood. He peered around the edge of the shelf. Nobody. The storm outside boomed with thunder. The lights above flickered. Against his better judgment, Ethan sat back down and opened the diary again. This time, the words on the page were different. He hadn't read them before. They hadn't been there. His hands went cold. "The boy in the library keeps reading. He doesn't realize the story is no longer mine. It's his." Ethan's breath caught. His name wasn't there, but the meaning was unmistakable. He slammed the diary shut and shoved it away, but the sound of it hitting the table echoed too loudly, like the wood itself amplified the noise. The silence that followed was suffocating. He tried to laugh it off. It's just a prank, some messed up creative writing thing. But then he noticed something. His reflection in the window. It wasn't moving the way he was. He froze. Slowly, he lifted his hand. In the glass, his reflection lingered, half a second too slow. Then, its mouth curved upward into a smile. Ethan's heart stopped. He whipped around, but the library was empty. When he turned back, the reflection was gone. His hand shook as he reached for the diary again, against every screaming instinct. He flipped to the newest entry, his vision blurring with fear. He realizes too late that the book has already chosen him, and the last sound he hears is someone whispering his name. Ethan. The voice came from right behind him, a whisper warm against his ear. He spun, knocking the chair over. Nobody, just the rows of books stretching endlessly into shadows. He stumbled back, nearly tripping, his eyes darting to the diary one final time. The page was still changing, letters appearing as though an invisible hand was writing them right now. The boy tries to run, but he never makes it to the door. Ethan's breath hitched. He bolted for the exit, sneakers squealing against the polished floor. The wooden doors loomed ahead. Freedom, safety. And then the lights snapped off. The last thing he saw in the black glass of the library window was his reflection again, smiling, waiting. And then nothing. The diary sat open on the table, its pages blank once more, as if it had never been written at all.